Hello guys, in today's video we're going to continue the conversation between Hinataro and his brother. So without further ado, let's start the video. Then Sanosuke narrows his eyes ever so slightly, and the smile disappears from his face as he touches on the real issue at hand. Hinataro. Wouldn't you like to take time off from Squad 4 for a little while? Various rumors have reached my ears relating to my work. The representative of the Seireitei's Shino Central Pharmaceutical Medical Institution, or in other words, Sanosuke, who is the chief executive of a specialized relief station for upper-class nobility with a focus on the four great noble clans, chuckled as he spoke in response to Hinataro tilting his head at the sudden proposal. With the Quincy threat now gone, there probably won't be any big wars occurring for some time. However, the Seireitei seems to have fallen into slight crisis instead. This is not such a small course of events that will stop just because someone tries to stop it. If you don't want to get dragged into this, then separate yourself from a position of responsibility for a while and cover your eyes and ears. Human world, Karakura town. Why? Got dragged into this. We got dragged into this. Evening in Karakura town. As he ran through a deserted back alley, Asano Kigo, who was fully enjoying his break until just a few minutes ago, was now making his tearful voice ring throughout the surroundings. Running alongside him was a boy with a solid poker face, Kojima Mizuro, who then spoke up. "Be quiet, Kigo. Your stamina will become just as useless as your yelling, you know? I've thought this for a long time, but why are you always so calm in situations like this? I can't help whether I'm calm or not." Reducing his running speed, Mizuro shifted his attention, glancing over his shoulder. "It's the first time I've seen a monster that looks like that, but at least it's better than that cheating Aizen guy." Before his line of sight, there was an enormous and grotesque figure shaped like a crab. A huge hollow was drawing near. It let out an unpleasant shriek whilst raising its pincers overhead. Kojima Mizuro was once pursued by Aizen Sasuke along with Kigo and Arasawa Tatsuki. Although this situation isn't as bad as that time, the fact that their lives were in danger remained unchanged. However, currently it's not Mizuro or Kigo the monster was directly aiming at. It was the figure of a young boy in a shihakusho who was running slightly behind the other two that the hollow was trying to crush with its pincers. Danger. It's dangerous, so leave this up to me now, please escape quickly. But then who will save me? Wah. The young Shinigami, who appeared to yell with almost the same tearful voice as Kigo, continued to run away from the huge hollow without being given even a bit of leeway to perform shikai. Yuki Ryanosuke, a Shinigami in charge of Karakura town, casually happened to encounter a hollow that was much stronger than himself, and in the midst of escaping in a panic, he ended up getting Kigo and Mizuro, who were walking through a back alley, caught up in this situation too. Kigo and the others have been involved in various events concerning their friend Kurosaki Ichigo. On top of that, receiving something called soul tickets from the eye patch wearing Shinigami also seems to have been a trigger for them to become considerably susceptible to sensing spiritual phenomenon. They've caught glimpses of Yuki's presence every now and then, and they've heard his name from Arihime and the others, but Kigo and Mizuro didn't concern themselves with such matters by giving him a level of recognition, thinking they have chosen a successor that probably means he is much stronger than Af-san. It turned out now that this young Shinigami who showed up in place of Kuromatane Inosuke, the Shinigami who is his predecessor, referred to as Af-san, in short for Afro-san, by Kigo and Imoyama-san by Ichigo, is far more unreliable than Kigo and Mizuro could have imagined. Watching Ryanosuke escape, whilst drawing out his Zanpakuto in a shaky manner, Kigo screamed loudly. Mizuro on the other hand calmly thought, at this pace, I wonder if we can escape to Orihara-san's shop. Mizuro had also implicitly asked Ichigo about Orihara Shoten. He was told that he would be safe if he escaped there first of all, if they were ever attacked by a hollow in the event that Ichigo himself was not present. In the course of handling the aftermath of the Aizen incident, Mizuro was gathering a certain degree of intelligence, so he understood that the shopkeeper of that Orihara Shoten was on par with the captain ranks, and moreover, he understood that Orihara is a man of great importance. I think he will try to sell you various items afterwards. But I guess you may as well give in and think of it as a thank you for receiving his help. Since Ichigo said that, Mizuro has entered the shop a few times. Of course, there was a variety of suspicious goods stacked alongside each other, such as anti-spirit serum Katakuran Alpha and spirit repellent spray Sekirei X, which were clearly not brand name goods. Oh, that reminds me. Remembering something, Mizuro dexterously began fishing inside his bag whilst running. Well, what are you doing, Mizuro? Don't tell me you're trying to take out some stun gun-like thing again. Mizuro then produced a ball with a strange face drawn on it before the shouting Kigo. Electromagnetic capture sphere, Zeta Boltan. It was the name of that product that Mizuru had recalled. When he asked the young girl tending to the store, who looked to be a junior high school student, about how to use the product, the explanation she gave was, "Oh, let's see, if it is the case that you are being chased by something that defies human understanding, then after twisting this knob, please throw it at the hull, at the monster." Well, I might as well give this a try, since I have nothing to lose. As he muttered that, Mizuru threw the item he was carrying at the huge crab monster in the way he was instructed to do so. Then in the next instant, an intense noise along with lightning devoured the surroundings. The monster's movements were slowed down as its whole body convulsed. Wow, how amazing. If I had thrown that at a person, I wonder if it would have been fatal. Next to Mizuru, who said that with calmness, Kigo slowed down to walking speed in blank amazement. What now? Stun guns? What do we do now? Stun guns? As soon as he gave up trying to think, Kigo repeats the same line twice in bewilderment. With a sidelong glance, he expected the boy clothed in black to now move on the offensive. However, the key player Yuki Ryanosuke was unable to stay standing due to the surprise of the lightning and thunderous roar from just a moment ago. Let's resuming this marathon course again, shall we? Although its movements were slowed down, it didn't mean that the hollow was completely defeated. Because of this situation, Kigo began to consider the idea that he would have to flee whilst carrying Yuki underarm. However, he was brought to a standstill midway through that thought by the loud voice of an assertive young woman which echoed through the back alley. "What are you doing?" Ryanosuke. Watching the silhouette of the young woman, the owner of that voice jumped down from the rooftop of a multi-story building. Mizuru confirmed that she was one of the Shinigami that had come to their town together with Yuki. If I remember correctly, it was Madarame Shino-san. As her Shihakusho fluttered matching the force of her drop, with all her might, Shino swung down her Zanpakuto, which had transformed into an Naginata. A pole-like weapon with a curved single-edged blade on its end, same weapon type as Ikaku's Shikai. The violent impact made the area around the alleyway tremble like an earthquake. The giant crab-shaped hollow is crushed and dissolved into tiny pieces, its reshape purified by the power of her Zanpakuto. Kigo's facial expression was one of amazement towards the Shinigami who had defeated that huge monster with a single strike. Mizuru took in the situation with a cool composure, thinking, at least there is also a competent Shinigami. Meanwhile, Ryanosuke, who realized that the hollow had been purified, looked at Shino and spoke words of relief. "That's good, you were safe, Shino-san." "That's my line, this idiot." Shino, who landed on the ground with her back turned towards Ryanosuke, jumps behind him and collides with the top of his shoulder. Whether by chance or intentional, after she had sent Ryanosuke tumbling to the ground with a Luchiter's Tope to reverse a move, she attacked her defeated partner further by using a joint lock technique on his body. Pathetic. Why is it that this is a chance in a million and still you are too intimidated to even stay standing yourself? Itatatata. Let go Shino-chan. Please let go of my arms, neck and back. Watching that sort of comedy exchange between the other two, Kigo was finally able to exhale a heavy breath, realizing they had overcome their predicament. Phew, we're saved. Shino-chan, was it? Somehow, I feel like I've seen you before. Oh. It's you? So you're the guy Ikakune took on as an underling in this place, Ikakune? And is that the way I'm supposed to be treated? As an underling? That Baldy was nothing like a leader to me at all, you know. Asano Kigo was once threatened by Madarame Ikaku, who had come to the human world. He ended up being half forced to accommodate Ikaku. However, the fact that Kigo's sister was so eager was also a major reason why he lent the accommodation. Baldy, you say? I'll pretend I didn't hear that, but if word reaches Ikakune's ears, he would kill you. Listening to the conversation in a setting that has calmed down, Shino appeared to be either Madarame Ikaku's sister or cousin. It seems the family of both her and Ikaku were being repeatedly involved in violence every day in Rukongai before the both of them were old enough to understand the world around them. Their parents had died one after the other, and they were passed on to their relatives who kept giving them the runaround. As a consequence, they also didn't have a clear understanding of exactly how they were related. After Ikaku had suddenly become a Shinigami, she herself followed by entering the Shino Academy. However, that brother told her directly from his mouth, "I think Squad 11 is too intense for Shino." Top management also concluded as such, and to this day, she is attached to the 13th Division, where she was eventually assigned to. Good grief, even though you've been training continuously all that time since that war with the Quincies ended, you still can't help but essentially be a good-for-nothing loser. Oof, I'm sorry, Shino-san. At Shino's telling off, Ryanosuke dropped his shoulders despondently. Unable to just watch without doing anything, Kigo interrupted the lecture in order to divert the conversation. I mean, it wasn't a matter of concern because of Ichigo's safe return. But even though the battle ended, it didn't exactly mean that those white monsters decreased too, did it? Releasing a small sigh, Shino responded to Kigo's question, seeing as how he was a victim who was dragged into this. It's not that we Shinigami and Kurosaki-san were waging war with hollows or something. This region is prone to hollows from the start. Listening to Shino's words, Mizuru nodded in understanding. Ah, it was about that special sacred place, wasn't it? The one that Aizen was aiming for, right? You're a human, and yet you are well informed, huh? I see. For that reason, anything could happen in this locality, so we can't be off our guard. Then, Ryanosuke opens his mouth to speak with a serious look in his eye. But, I think I'm pretty unprepared whenever I'm dispatched. Don't say that to yourself. Ryanosuke's scream echoed across the alleyways of Karakura town as he was subjected to the joint lock technique again. However, as if drowning out that scream, a voice on a loudspeaker resounded from the direction of the main street. Therefore, it is unacceptable for the world to remain in its present condition. However, people do not wish to return to the past. What the Dashi seeks is an escape to a new world, an officiating monk, priest, guru. What's that? When Shino knit her eyebrows together in discomfort at the voice that was streaming out from the propaganda vehicle-like thing, Mizuru answered that question. It's an emerging religious cult that was recently born. Because of the lengthy earthquake we had half a year ago, it sparked a considerable amount of disorder around the world, and this is where we stop the video. What is this cult that Mizuru talking about? Is this cult as important to this light novel? Let's find out on the coming chapter of this light novel. Thank you for watching, and have a safe day.